Hi friends, I'm Stevie. Thanks for joining me for this Misuse Your Desk Chair mini-series. First of all, if you've already listened to this intro spiel about this mini-series with standalone classes, you can go ahead and skip to. But if you'd like to hear the information, let's get into it. So I've had a lot of people ask me for really quick mini classes in a variety of categories or even surrounding postures that they can do using their chair, whether it's a standard chair like this, a dining chair, or a desk chair, and that are quick. So if they do happen to either work from home or work in an office, they might be able to do it on a quick break or during lunch. And yeah, I'm happy to do this. I do spend a lot of time sitting myself. I am lucky enough to work from home, but I spend a lot of time sitting. And it is fun to use your chair in other ways. Now, I'll say there are so many ways to use your chair. And if you look in the prop section of our app, you'll find that I have quite a few chair classes, including like a chair dance and then some really heated chair classes. There's chair classes where we lay on the floor, where we lay over the chair. With this Misuse Your Desk Chair series, I wanted to keep it a little simple for multiple reasons. One is if you do have a desk chair, like a rolling desk chair that you can't lock or something like that, we don't really necessarily want to be doing too much with standing on it or getting crazy and laying over it. And two, if you want to do this in your office, well, then I welcome that. I used to definitely do handstand breaks in my office, although my office was accepting of this. I worked for a health food company at the time, and they were used to my nonsense. But I know that maybe if we are in the office, we don't necessarily want to like lay on the floor a lot and do things like that. So I'll say this is going to be using the idea of like sitting on the chair, standing next to the chair, maybe putting one foot on the chair, and we'll be doing that in a lot, but not necessarily like laying down on the floor and doing wild things like that. So there are plenty more ways to misuse your chair, and you can check out some of our other classes in the prop section to see some expanded version of that. These are beginner friendly, foundation based. We won't necessarily be doing any really complex moves or super deep because it is faster, and some of them are meant to be heating and some of them are softer. That being said, because these are really short classes, the pace itself can seem a little intimidating to those who are new, just the idea of following so many cues, clues and cues. But I will say that because they're so short, I really, really recommend that you come back to them as many times as you'd like. They get more familiar in your body and you're able to kind of roll through and maybe modify or change anything that you know that you personally need. So don't be intimidated by the pace. It's there to help you get through it quickly and to have something really short, fast, sometimes heated that you can do when you've been sitting for a while. Now, as far as props go for all these classes, you'll need a chair. I prefer something that doesn't roll because there is one or two classes where you can put a foot up or even step onto the chair. It doesn't matter if it's padded or not. Maybe you like it padded. You can always have a blanket or towel around to add to that. Depending on your height and the height of the chair, you may want some blocks or books so that sometimes you could put your feet on the blocks or your hands on the blocks, and that is 100% up to you. So I do recommend having some kind of blanket or towel nearby, or even just a sweatshirt, or if you're at work, having some books or blocks that you can pop out and use whenever you'd like. And that goes for all the classes. I'll continue adding to these, and they can be done in any order. There isn't a specific order for these. If we get enough, we might throw them into their own category. But yeah, let me know what other misuse your desk chairs you'd like to see, and let's get moving. Hi friends, welcome to the chillax flow of our Misuse Your Desk Chair series. This is another quick one, and it will be flow style, so not a ton of direction. It's meant to be softer. Now, that being said, you can pick the intensity that you want to go into this. I like a soft, wavy flow or sensation, but if you'd like to bring a little bit more heat, obviously just adding some intensity and depth to some of these movements can do that. I will say if you feel like this class moves a little too quickly, we do break down a lot of these movements or similar versions of them with options and modifications in some of the other Misuse Your Desk Chair offerings. So keep that in mind. With the flow ones, I wanted something a little bit shorter. This is our chillax flow. Per usual, having a chair, especially a non-rolling chair, since we will be putting a foot on it, can be helpful. And then if you like to have blocks to help bring the floor a little bit closer to you or a blanket to put on the chair seat, that's a great option. Per usual, we will start by sitting towards the edge of our chair, feet planted firmly on the floor or blocks. Sit up tall. Take your arms out to a cactus, lift your heart. Big inhale. As you exhale, take your hands long, bow down, and just pour your arms over your knees, kind of rounding through the spine. Inhale, roll your way back, open to that lifted chest position, arms out in a cactus. Exhale, stretch your arms forward and round over your legs. Inhale, peel it open, cactus. Exhale, round forward and reach. And you can ignore the breath cues if they don't work for you. Inhale, peel it open. Exhale, round and reach forward. Maybe stretching the arms a little bit further forward. Inhale, cactus. Exhale, round and reach. We'll change it up this time. Inhale, cactus. Exhale, stretch your arms up to the ceiling. Stretch, 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 stretch. Take one more inhale here. And then as you exhale, side bend over towards the right. Drop your right arm down along the side of the chair. Maybe even grab the leg, depending on your chair. Stretch and reach your left arm up and over. Take a few breaths here just for this beginning. Back through center, both arms to the sky. Cactus your arms, lift your heart. Stretch your arms towards the ceiling. And on your next exhale, pour your left hand down and side bend over towards the left. Maybe even slide your left hand down your left leg of your chair. Pause for a breath or so. Both arms back to the ceiling, stretch tall. Cactus your arms, lift your chest. Both arms back to the ceiling, stretch tall. Side bend over towards the right, maybe grabbing onto the edge of the chair. Pay attention to your top arm. Cactus your arm. Maybe arc your heart towards the ceiling. Press your left arm forward, round and reach. Cactus your arm. Heart towards the ceiling. Press your left arm forward, round and reach. One more time like that. Cactus. Press it forward. Both arms up to the sky, reach tall. Cactus your elbows. Both arms up to the sky, reach tall. Side bend over to the left, slide your left hand down your chair leg. Pay attention to your top arm. Cactus it, arc the heart towards the ceiling. Reach your right arm forward, stretching, rounding. Cactus, elbow back. Stretch and reach. Cactus, elbow back. Stretch and reach. One more time, cactus, elbow back. Stretch and reach. Both arms up to the sky, sit tall. Cactus. Both arms up to the sky. Side bend over towards the right. Cactus your left elbow back, your top elbow. Stretch and reach. Cactus back. Stretch and reach. From this stretch and reach position, swoop your left arm down as you continue twisting towards the right and find a twisted position, maybe grabbing the back of the chair and uprighting your torso slightly. I like to use the back of the chair for a little bit of hold, or you can even hug it. Release both arms up to the sky. Cactus, lift your chest. Both arms up to the sky. Side bend over towards the left, rip your left hand down. Cactus, your right elbow back. Stretch, reach, round forward. Cactus, your right elbow back. Stretch, reach, round forward. All right, pause. Swoop your right arm down. Lift your torso up until you're in a twisted position to the left. You choose what to do with your hands. Release. Both arms up to the sky. Cactus one more time. Both arms up to the sky. Keep the arms stretching. Tilt the torso forward about 45 degrees. Really stretch through the hands. Transfer weight into the feet and come to a stand. As you come to a stand, cactus the arms one more time. Lift the chest. Press through your heels. And drop your arms down by your side. Great. Let's do a little bit of a standing flow. Turn so that the left side of your body faces the chair and step your left foot onto the chair so it's about 90 degrees. And that's what I said, where if you want to put a block on your bottom foot to lift you a little bit higher, that's fine. If you actually would prefer not to use the chair and to use like a stack of books, that's fine too. I like my right hip stacked right over my right knee, but that is just me. Take your arms up to the ceiling and reach tall. Side bend towards your bent leg, maybe arm inside of that bent leg. Pour it down, side bend. Press through the chair for support. Both arms reach tall, small bend into your bottom leg. Side bend towards that bottom leg, towards that right leg. You can take your hand down your right leg for support here. Both arms reach tall. Side bend again towards that bent leg, towards the chair. Beautiful. Maybe you even reach your left hand, your bottom arm, towards the back of the chair if that's something that's available for you, and grab onto it. Kind of stretching away from the chair just slightly for a little bit of release of the arm, but also just this idea of shifting the hips away from the chair. As you shift the hips away from the chair, bend slightly into that bottom leg. Just making this like funny position, noticing how the stretch changes differently. Obviously, don't pull your chair over. Notice I'm almost doing that already. With your left hand on the chair, pivot towards the chair. Do whatever you'd like with your right hand. I'm going to bring it to the base of the chair, and I actually like to move my left foot over a little to give myself some space for my hip. I like my left knee going out slightly. Rock forward, thinking weight into the front foot and the hands, and then rock back, bringing some level of straightness into that left leg, but it certainly doesn't have to be all the way straight. Come forward, thinking like a lizard lunge, and come back, but this is soft and supported. Come forward, lizard lunge. Shift back, something like half split. Come forward, lizard lunge. Shift back, something like half split. One more time. Come forward, lizard lunge. Shift back, something like half split. With your hands on the chair for support, find whatever place in between the lizard and the half split you need to be able to pick up your left foot and send it back behind you. Think a really soft but supported warrior three. Ankle both hip bones down to the floor just to start. Bend deeply into your bottom knee. And then bring it almost to straight. Bend deeply into the bottom knee. Almost to straight. One more time. Bend deeply into the bottom knee. Almost to straight. With your hands for support, open up towards the left, thinking a half moon position. I like to then remove my left hand from the chair. And just help stack my left hip on top of my right, but I have the support of my right hand on the base of the chair. Both legs can have a soft bend in them. And then bend your bottom leg a little bit more before bringing it almost to straight. Bend your bottom leg a little bit more, almost to straight. Curl your left knee towards your right, kind of closing everything off, and then open back up to something that resembles a half moon position. Close and curl, doesn't have to be anything too specific. Open it up. One more time like that. Close and curl. Open it up. Okay. Top leg, left leg. Drop it down behind the right leg. Bend the right leg as needed and place your left foot down. Reach your left arm towards the back of the chair. Maybe it grabs onto it like it did at the beginning. Maybe not. Bend your legs as much as you need to here. And then think about sending your hips away from the chair for hopefully a big stretch to the whole left side body. Wonderful. Release. Come to a stand. Let's do that side one more time without all the extra repetitions, just kind of going back and forth and getting into it. So left foot up on the chair in like a supported tree position with your right leg down, right heel underneath your hip. Side bend towards your bent leg, bowing towards the chair. Side bend away from the chair. Side bend towards the chair again. Maybe your left hand grabs onto the back of the chair. Pivot towards the chair. Right hand down inside of your left foot. Maybe wiggle your left foot over a little bit. Rock forward, think lizard. Send the hips back, think half split. Find somewhere in between where it feels comfortable to lift your foot on the chair and send it back behind you into a supported warrior three. One time, bend deeply into the bottom leg and then bring it towards straight. Unfurl, open up half moon. Tuck your left knee behind your right, coil, curl, close it down, and then bloom back open to that half moon position. Send that top leg behind the bottom leg, foot to the floor, crossing, and reach your left arm long towards the back of the chair or even hooking onto it, pressing your hips away from the chair. Wonderful. unwind. Let's do the other side. So now, right leg is on the chair, tree position. Left hip stacked somewhat over left knee, put a soft bend into your left knee. Side bend towards the chair, maybe your right arm inside of your right knee. Side bend away from the chair, slide your left hand down your left leg here. Small bend into that left leg. Side bend again towards the right leg. Maybe you even reach your right arm, that's your bottom arm, to the back of the chair and hook onto it. With the right hand on the chair for support, pivot towards that right leg. Place your left hand down. I like to walk my right foot over for a little bit more space. Rock forward, think lizard, your heel can lift. Rock back, bringing some semblance of straight to that right leg. Just some, doesn't have to be much. Rock forward, think lizard. Rock back, half split. Rock forward, lizard. Rock back, half split. Rock forward, lizard. Rock back, half split. Find somewhere in between where you can use the grip of the chair and the push of the bottom leg to lift your right leg off the chair, bringing it back behind you, warrior three. Both hip bones mainly pointed towards the floor. Bend deeply into the bottom leg. Bring it almost to straight. Bend deeply into the bottom leg. Almost to straight. One more time like that. Bend deeply into the bottom leg. Almost to straight. Peel your right hip open on top of your left. Maybe let go with that right hand. You can always adjust where your left hand is on the chair for a half moon position. Again, bend a little bit into that bottom leg. Bring it to straight. Bend into the bottom leg. Bring it to straight. Tuck your right knee behind your left, close and coil off like you're making a little ball, and then bloom back open into something that resembles half moon. Two more like that. Curl and coil. Half moon. Curl and coil. Half moon. Beautiful. Take your right leg behind your left, bend your left leg as needed, and shift the ankle as well to cross. Great. Take your right hand and arc it, reach it towards the back of the chair. If it hooks on, pull on the back of the chair and send your hips away from the chair for a big stretch to the right side body. Beautiful. Come up. Let's do that one more time without the repetitions. Right foot on the chair, tree stance. Bow towards the chair. Side bend away from the chair. Side bend towards the chair, maybe grabbing the back with your right hand. Pivot towards the chair, both hands on the chair in some way. Come forward, lizard. Send it back, half split. Figure out a place where you can lift your right foot off and reach it back, warrior three. One bend to the bottom leg. Bring it mainly to straight. Unfurl, open up, half moon. Bend into the bottom leg. Bring it almost to straight. Tuck your right knee behind your left, little ball. Open up, something that resembles half moon. Drop your right leg behind your left, crossing at the inner thighs, and reach your right arm towards the back of the chair. Big stretch as you send your hips away from the chair, rounding through the spine. Beautiful. If you want to be fancy, keep your legs crossed. Move your left hand to the front right corner of your chair for support. Unwind the legs and just sit down on your chair. Of course, that's just a quick little flow that we did from a mainly standing position. You can go back and play with it if you'd like. It's meant to just be a little bit of waviness, side work, a bit of leg work, and even a little bit of an arm release. But these often do work best when you come back a few times to get the quicker movement and figure out what works best in your body. And that's one of the beauties of online videos. This is meant to be done somewhat softly. Of course, you can bring however much fire you'd like. I do have a quick fire flow coming as well. So if that's something that you prefer, keep that in mind, or depending on when you're looking at this, peek and see if it's already there. It's the MISUSE Your Desk Chair Fire Flow. Thank you so much for joining me for this series, as always, and if there's anything else you'd like to see from me with MISUSE Your Desk Chair, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks so much for being here, and have a wonderful day.